Yo, what's up, fellas? It's your boy Gio, and I'm back with another one. Another one, right? And you saw the title. Yes, if you're between the ages of 18 and 30, you don't need to be focused on relationships. You need to be focused on getting to the bag. All right? You see, I don't believe that nice guys finish last, but the man who gets to the bag is the man who on the back end won't lag. But look, straight up, y'all boys need to be locked in. I hear a lot of young guys say, yo, I'm 20, I'm 23, I'm 22. I got a lot of time to figure it out. No, bro, you do not have a lot of time to figure it out. Because by the time you hit 23, you right around the corner from 25, and before you know it, you 30, and then you 35. So you got to take advantage of the time that you have in your youth. You got to take advantage of the energy that you have in your youth to grind and put that work in. So what I'm getting at is financial foundations need to be set in your 20s. You need to be obtaining leadership skills in your 20s to lead women. You need to be able to provide experiences for your woman. You need to be able to make sure that should she have children, y'all don't have to give y'all children to the daycares to raise them, because y'all know this is a crazy society. It's all type of shit going on. They teaching our kids in these schools and these daycares. If you can establish yourself early, it'll set you up later. American society molded us to be some pussies. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's a lot of guys growing up worshiping the ground that women walk on. That ain't the way society operated to get us to this point. So what I'm getting at is it's a lot of guys that's over emotional, don't demand respect from the women that they deal with. You need to be focusing on developing yourself. If you're growing up in a single parent household, you don't see the example of how a man is supposed to operate with a woman. And then if you did, a lot of times the woman is really the leader of the household, which that shit don't make no sense. Male role models are necessary, but this is about grinding your ass off between 18 to 30. So I'm gonna keep it there, right? So I'm gonna give you a scenario today. If you in your young 20s, let's say you just graduated not high school, but you just graduated in college. You know, maybe you didn't go to college and you went to trade school. So you in your early 20s. I want you guys to be saving up your money. You never save just to save. I want you to save your money up so that you can begin to invest it. I'm gonna give you a scenario. With this scenario, it'll be people that are ahead of the game, and it's gonna be people who are behind the curve. Like I said, I'm a real estate guy. So let's say, for example, you start working at 25 and you're able to grind your ass off until 30, right? So from 25 to 30, you working, you making about 50K a year. You know, you working, making your 50K a year. And then that you're able to save $400 a month, right? So what does that come out to? That comes out to $4,800 a year per month, right? And then how much is that over 5 years? 24,000. All right, over 5 years, right? So you got $24,000 to play with. You grinded your ass off from 25 to 30. Got 50, making 50 a year, saving 400 a month, $4,800 a year, 24,000 over 5 years, right? So now you got this money to play with, and you need to know what to do with it, right? Now, like I said, I'm a real estate guy, so I'm going to keep it in terms of real estate, but I'm going to keep this very simple, or as simple as possible. I'm not trying to go into too much detail. But let's say you decide to buy 5 properties. And this is just a scenario here, guys, that'll give you an idea of how you want to invest your money, and what it can look like just working with $24,000 at the age of 30, right? So let's say you buy a house. Boom. And this house is worth $200,000. 200K, right? Now we're going to assume that you buying this house. You got to get this house at a discount. Let's say it needs some work, right? So you get it at 50% of the value. Let's say you get it at $100,000, right? You get this house at 100K. Now with this 100K, you're going to have to put 20% down for, let's say you get a loan on it. a hard money loan or a private money loan, let's say your interest, they want you to put 20% down. Well, 20% of that 100K is going to be 20,000, right? But that's going to be, sir, that's going to be in the 100K. Now, let's say this property needs $30,000 worth of work, right? Needs $30,000 worth of work. And let's say your fees for this property is going to be about 10K, right? We're going to keep it simple. So 100,000, 30,000 plus 10,000, you're all in this property at 140,000, right? Now you're going to get a loan to refinance out of the private money or the hard money that you was financing this with. And you go and out for this 140,000 is 70%, right? Is about 70% of the value of the 200,000, right? That's 70%. The banks are, let's say you go and get a lender to finance this for you and wrap all of this up for you. And you do a cash out refinance at 80% of the value, right? 80% would be 160K. Now you get to walk away with 20K, right? You get to walk away with 20K. So that 20K that you use here out of your 24,000, you got that right back. Now you're going to repeat this process one more time, two more times, three more times, four more times. And now you got 5 properties, guys. Let's say they're all valued around 200K, right? They're all valued around 200K. Now, this is a hypothetical. I'm trying to keep the numbers perfect, simple, and easy. Let's say and you buy them around the same price, about 100K, and you're all in. You get to rinse, you pretty much rinse and repeat. We call this the BERT strategy in real estate. When you buy it, rehab it, rent it out, and repeat, right? So you do this you do this process once a year, right? So from 30 to 35, you do this process. Well, guess what? By the time you're 35, you have a net worth of $1 million. Boom, boom. You got a net worth of $1 million because each property you have is worth 200,000. You got 5 properties, right? 5 properties worth $1 million. Now let's say retirement age is what? 65, right? Retirement age is 65. You get a 30-year mortgage on all of these properties. By the time when you're 35, by the time you're 65, everything will be paid off. Now, if you can do this process 5 times, you can definitely do it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 times, right? Especially within that 30-year time frame. So let's just assume you didn't buy any more properties. You only bought these. And let's say that the value in these went up. Let's say $100,000. Well, if that's the case, now you got 300K times 5, right? And what is that? 1.5 million. 1.5 million. Now, of course, these properties need to be maintained over the time, right? Need to be maintained. You need to make sure you putting, new roofs on there, new plumbing if you got to, over this course of this time period, new electrical if you need it. But that's what's going to get you this complete valuation of 1.5 million, right? Now, said this is not including you purchasing any more houses, just these 5, right? Now, this is what, and by the way, you're renting every one of these out, right? Every one of these are bringing you rental income. If you're buying them, they're worth 200,000. You're probably getting at least $1,200 to $1,500 in rent for them, right? Let's just say somewhere between $1,200 to $1,500. We're not going to count all of that. I'm trying to keep this very simple. My point is, you buy 5 houses over that time period, and it sets yourself up to receive passive income and retire with a little nest egg. This doesn't include the stocks that you buy. This doesn't include the business that you start. This is just 5 properties you buy because you was able to grind your ass off in your 20s, right? Save up $24,000, and now you're able to put this money into property, right? Now, there's ways that you can go in and buy properties for less money, right? And still be able to do this strategy. But getting into all of that, I'm keeping it very simple. It's not a real estate course. This is just a hypothetical idea of what you can do when you save up your money and grind your ass off early, mid 20s, 30s, right? And you just finally start to begin to invest that money. This what it can do for you. So I hope you guys was able to appreciate that breakdown, that example. Stay grinding, stay locked in, because the women are gonna always be there. I promise you, they're not going nowhere. And when they do come, they're gonna be in greater access. You're gonna be able to do more. All right. So y'all boys, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and salute.